Yo, what's up guys? I'm back on the mic today from Spectral Sound, and a long time ago I got a request, working through the old request list. Someone wanted to know how to make Badklaat style basses, really heavy, aggressive, screechy Riddim basses. And he told me to look up the song Headcrush by Badklaat as an example, and that I did. This is not a recreation of the main bass from Headcrush. This is just, something that's very similar, very Badklaat style. This is what it sounds like. This is just a quick drum loop I threw together. This is just a quick drum loop I threw together. It's nothing complicated. There is a bit of mastering on this master chain here, but it's just a Maximus doing this right here, and then a Ozone 5 maximizer. And that's really all it is. It's just super basic stuff. This is just to make it louder and to bring everything out, because Riddim really needs to have good mastering to sound powerful. So I do have a little bit of post-processing on this bass. There is a SOUNDGOODIZER turned all the way up, destroying me in the comments. Don't really care, sounds good. And just a touch of reverb, just a little bit. I have the wet up at like 8%, and the early reflections are all the way up. The dry is normal. But everything, you can see the settings I have here. Super small, super simple reverb. Most of the reverb you're hearing is from the plugin itself, so I just wanted a little extra after the major compression that the SOUNDGOODIZER is doing. All right, now before I start the tutorial, I just want to do just a quick self-promotion here. My song Obsidian that I've been, kind of teasing a little bit on this channel, it's out now. It's out on my SoundCloud, links in the description. So if you want to listen to that and support me, go ahead and do that. Just wanted to say that because I know some of you have been asking about it. Sorry about that quick little plug, but I can do that. It's my channel. I can do whatever I want.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
But the main element working in this bass is a lot of FM, and I mean a lot of it. Look how high we're turning up this FM knob. I barely ever do that with almost any sound. The FM does not make the sound. However, that is going to be the main bass for making the bass like B-A-S-E, not like bass. There's going to be other elements such as like, filters and complex stuff in the effects section, but I'll get to that as it comes. So the first step is just to throw on an analog BD sine waveform here. You can turn the wavetable position all the way down. Just has a few extra harmonics than a normal sine wave. So you probably could use a normal sine wave. I just chose the analog BD sine for this purpose. I bumped the octave up 1, and the level is going from 0 up to 75% with LFO 1 here. Now, LFO 1 and LFO 2 are going to be the main modulations. The main reason that there is 2 of them is because LFO 1 here is doing this normal shape, and LFO 2 is delayed slightly. And that's because we're going to put a Combs filter on it in the effects section, and when you do that, the sound gets delayed. And I wanted to match things like the sub and other, constant stuff. I wanted to match the delay there. So that's all that is doing. So the FM from B is on at 79%, going up 8. That's a lot of FM. I have the unison on 3 voices, and the detune is down to like 0.0, like it's really small. You can see how tight everything is there. The blend is at 54%, so we do have the main original voice coming through the most, but there is a little bit more stereo width. Shut up, phone. That's like, I don't want to talk to you right now.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
The phase random is all the way down, and you can just leave the phase where it is. When you're dealing with FM, phase random is very important, because if you don't turn the phase randomness off for each one of these, the sound will sound different every time you play it. Hence, there might be one sound which you think is awesome, then the next minute you play it, it doesn't sound nearly as good. So always do that. Then you can mess with the phases to get the sound that you want. So we just have a sine wave right now. Not really anything much. It is going through the mastering, which is why you are hearing all those extra harmonics, but it's really just a sine wave at this point. Flip on oscillator B, the level is going to be all the way down, and it is the bowed metal waveform in the spectral tab. Now this is a very frequent wavetable here. There's a lot of high frequencies going on. You can see them, and that's going to really mess up the FM. Let me just show you what it sounds like. Really airy and really gritty and rather messy sound in my opinion, but we're gonna clean it up a lot. I have pulse width modulation on at just 96%. That's just a little bit of extra stuff right there. That just fine tuning the tonality of the FM. I thought it sounded good up just a little bit. The wavetable position is going from 1 up 22. It's just a little bit of movement in that first section right there. The octave is down 1, which it's, it's kind of weird. Normally the carrier I have down lower and the modulator I have up higher. This time I have switched it around, so it's gonna get a really, that really kind of squelchy, gritty effect is achieved there. We can throw on a sub because we need that sub bass in Riddim. When you're making Riddim, you gotta feel the sub in the headphones, man. So the level is all the way down and it is modulating up all the way with LFO2 here, which I said is at a slight delay. So that's gonna, because it's going direct out, there will be absolutely no delay on the sub. There is going to be delay on the actual sound since it's gonna go through a Combs filter. So I just wanted the sub to follow the power of the, outputting sound. It is on a rounded square wave and you can lower it down 1 octave. As if we needed more noise, turns out we do. I just left it on an acoustic hum right here and the level is going from 0% all the way up to 30. Now with the sub and the noise, this is what we have. All right, still very, very messy. Let's clean it up with a bit of filtering here. I have the low 6 filter turned on, which is just a very slight low pass. It's not a sharp curve. Like there's a nice long ramp there. And that's what I want. I didn't want it to cut off that harshly. So I have oscillator A and the noise going through, which is really the only oscillator outputting sound other than the sub, but we didn't want to do anything to the sub here. The cutoff is at 22 Hertz going up 87. So just a normal kind of low pass action there with filter 1. Everything else is just left completely normal, and this is what we have. They just control the sound a little more. Still doesn't sound that good, but it's gonna get a lot better once we go into the effects section. The first step, you guessed it, is to add the Combs filter. Now the Combs filter is very, very similar to the Reverb filter. If you even look at it on here, it looks very similar. But what I like about the Combs filter is that when you use a Reverb filter, there's a lot of extra delay and the sound decays a lot longer. Whereas with the Combs, you get the same kind of reverb filter effect, but without that kind of decay, delay room sound that I don't really like that much, honestly. I'd much rather use the Combs filter over the Reverb filter. So that's why I chose the Combs specifically. The mix is at 70% going up 30 with LFO1. Now the cutoff I have stagnant during, while you're playing this sound. However, I have assigned a macro to it. It's going from 12 Hertz up 18. So that just gives, a nice little range. You can edit and adjust the sound using this macro. Let's see, 71%, let's remember this. I'll just play around with this. You can see you can get a lot of different tonalities, using the macro here. So that's the only reason I assigned it. I thought it'd be very nice because, I have the preset download link in the description. You can just go download that if you want. And you can mess around with it and get some nice sounds using, just this macro, So resonance is all the way down, drive is all the way down. The pan is up 57, so just a little bit more stereo width there. Not too much, is happening there. Just a little bit more stereo, and that'll come out in stuff like the hyper dimension, which we will add right now. The mix for the hyper is all the way down, but on the dimension, I have the size at 0 and the mix at 51%. So just a little more stereo width going on. If you're wondering about the delay between me clicking play and the sound actually playing, that is because of Ozone, the maximizer right here. If it wasn't there, then this is what it would sound like. You can see it's actually following the waveform, so that's the only reason that that's happening. It's just the maximizer. There's a lot of latency involved there. Throw on a little bit of disto. I have the sinefold distortion selected. The drive is at 5% and it is going up 8 with LFO2 here. Again, LFO2 is the slightly delayed LFO. That just adds a little more crunch to the top end of the sound. Just a little more power there. Next, let's add a phaser. I have the rate all the way down and the depth all the way down. I'm modulating the frequency at 147 Hertz, going up 4 just a little bit with LFO1 right there. That's gonna, kind of accentuate the vowel of the sound because I have the mix at 36%, but if I turn it all the way up, you kind of hear that whoa, whoa kind of sound, which is what I want. I just wanted to mix that in. And I completely forgot what I had this at. I'm just going to put it like right there, maybe. Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter too much. It's just fine tuning. All right, next is an EQ. What we're going to do with this is we have some filter motion going on. We have P filters selected for both of them. The frequency is at 91 hertz, going up 21 on the left one. The EQ factor is at 54%, and the gain is at 7.4, going up 30. So we get this kind of action. The yoy action that everybody uses. On the second one, we're going to be doing the same thing except reverse the other direction. The frequency is at 2370, going down -15, so in that higher register. The EQ factor is 57%, and the gain is going from 0.0 up 23. So it's nothing right here. There is no peakage, and when we come up to the middle, there is peaking. That's just to accentuate the vowel. All right, we can add a little bit of reverb. This is gonna be a plate reverb. The size is at 13%, and the pre-delay is at 0 milliseconds. The low cut I have at 17%, and the high cut I have at 13%. So just taking care of the very low and the very high end. When I have pre-delay, I like to turn it all the way down. I don't like to have pre-delay. I don't think I've ever used pre-delay, but I just don't like the way it sounds. I don't know. Damp is all the way down, width is all the way up to get the full stereo field, and the mix is modulating from 0% up 46 with LFO 2 right here, which again is the delayed LFO. Just simple reverb. All right, and now we're gonna flip on a chorus to make it a little bit wider. I have the rate at 0.01, delay 1 is at 0.0, and delay 2 is at 0.3. A lot of zeros happening here. The depth is at 20 milliseconds, and the feedback is up at 10%. We can turn the low pass filter all the way up here so we get all the frequencies, and mix it in at 68%. It's just pretty basic, really tight chorus action here. That is actually all you need to make this sound. I did not end up using any multi-band compression. I thought I would because I do it in basically every sound, but really that's all you need. I guess especially considering we have a freaking full SOUNDGOODIZER on the channel, but you know, it's whatever. All right, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this sound or you just like these tutorials, drop a like below. Tell me what kind of tutorials you like me to do in the comments. Not necessarily what sounds to recreate, but if you like these Serum tutorials, or if you want me to do more FL tutorials or mixing tutorials, or you know, just any kind of tutorials like that, tell me what you want me to do, because I really like to hear what you guys want, and I like to give back to you, you know, content that I think you would like. So the easiest way for me to do that is for you to just tell me what kind of stuff you like. Now, I'm not accepting sound design recreations at the moment, but if you like me doing sound design recreations, you can just say so and I'll be doing more of them. Don't forget to follow me on SoundCloud, Instagram, and join the Facebook group. The links to all those are in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.